And welcome to another episode of Creating Cultures That Outperform. I hope you've been enjoying these shows every Wednesday. We ended up taking a few weeks off actually, but we're back in action.
We're
So
back.
we have
Happy New Year.
I'm Frank Wander, the CEO of People Productive. I'm here with Terry Mays, certified culture engineer with incredible insights in how to create high performing cultures. And we have a really good show for you today, and it's something to think about. We're just beginning 2024. I think everybody should try to be more like you in 2024. It's a relatively, it's probably going to be an odd year. That's my prediction anyway. We're in an age of disruption. I think it'll be an odd year. Things will happen. We see companies are unstable. It's a good year to be likable, in my opinion, given what's going on out there. So, likability. I don't know if you ever think about likability, but people have their own, there's a likability index. If you told everybody or meet, say, hey, you know to get a private rating of how likable you are, you'd come up with your own index, and then you could begin to work on it. But you should work on something every week in 2024. Try different techniques and things out. We're going to cover them today, and you can make a big difference. It's very, very simple. So I don't know, why don't you kick us off with some tips and tricks, Terry?
Yes, tips for being more likable. I think one of the biggest things we can do is kind of lean into listening actively.
Yes, love it.
A lot of times we're in this space now where you've got your phone, you've got the iPad, you've got the computer, and it's hard to really give people your undivided attention because there's so many distractions. But if you could actually put all the devices away and pay attention to the person that's talking to you and really listen to what they're saying. I can't tell you how many times I've been in meetings where, we'll have this conversation and then somebody says, "What do you think?" And then the person is just sitting there like they have not been in the room. And you have
Yeah,
to recap the whole conversation again to get the person up to speed because they weren't listening.
totally annoying.
Yeah, or they ask a
Yeah,
question that somebody else just asked, and we had a whole conversation about it, and then they come back and ask the same question.
yeah,
It's all because people are distracted, and it's at an all-time high, I think.
I think it
We've
is
got
too.
so much stimulation from so many different areas. You've got, if you're in your car, it just becomes the worst, right? So you've got the radio in the car, or music or talk radio,
Yeah.
whatever it is you're listening to. You're driving down the road, you get a phone call, you get an email notification, you get social media notifications.
I'm never
you know
distracted. What's going
yeah, you're just totally distracted.
Yeah.
So a way for you to become more likable is to really start to pay attention to people, listen to what they're saying,
Mhm.
and then actively engage in conversation with them. Don't be so distracted all the time. And there's a time and a place for looking at your phone and
Yeah.
not kind of being completely there. We've all done it. We've all checked out of a
Yeah,
meeting
yeah.
where we were just tired of being there, and so we got our phone out, or we opened the web browser and started surfing the internet. It happens to the best of us. But as much as you can, try your best to actively listen to what people are saying. Like, put down the distractions and pay attention, because you learn so much about people when you really listen to what they're saying. And when you're able to provide some sort of support or relief to be able to help
Mhm.
add value to that person, people will seek you out. When you're the kind of
Yeah,
person that
no
adds value
question.
to people, they will come looking for you. You won't have to come looking for them.
And that reminds me of a story. Years ago, I was working at a company. It's running an IT department, rather large one. And one individual was really disliked by the business people. And I dug into it, and what I found out was this individual only was interested in fulfilling their needs, their tasks, their activities, and they wanted to run the other way because it was always going to be a chore and assignment. Showed no interest in the other people at all, no interest in what they were working on. Never asked, "Can I help you? Is there anything you're struggling with?" Not helpful at all. 100% about getting done what this individual had to get done. And I gave him the feedback. It helped a little. But basically, this person was just totally self focused on what they needed. And that is a sure way to not be likable. in
Right.
2024. Focus on the needs of others, be sincere and authentic about, their needs, showing interest in what they're working on, whether you can help them, share your knowledge freely, go out of your way to help people. And then they'll seek you out. They'll like you.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, no question about that. People already have full plates. So if the only time you engage with people is to get something, then they see the relationship as just purely transactional. So
One-way street.
every time they see you, oh, what do they want now? When you call, oh my God, what do they want
Oh
now?
God,
You
yeah.
send an email. Oh, here she goes again. Yeah, you just don't want that to be the case. You
No.
want to actually engage and try to help people when you don't need anything. You want to listen and follow through on things with people, even when there's nothing that you can gain from it. You're going out of your way to help people because you're basically banking that for later. Because one day you're going to need to draw out of that bank and you want to have something to draw out of. If your relational banks are all depleted, then people just get annoyed with you and they don't want to be bothered with you.
Yeah. And this is science, by the way. Terry is talking about stuff that has been very well researched. It's called reciprocity. When you do things for people, they want to do favors back for you. And actually, when you're doing favors for people, it causes a dopaminergic reaction. You get a release of dopamine that makes you feel a little better on top of it. So, helping people has a built in reward. It's science. You're going to bank all of these things that you did to help other people. When the time comes that you need something, they're all going to be there for you. So, you're not going to be just more likable, they're going to help you.
Yeah.
Another thing, if you want to be more likable, smile. People
Yes.
want to be around people who are positive. You don't want to be the Debbie Downer of the group. Just smiling and adding a positive energy to that conversation, to that room, to that meeting, you're immediately going to be more likable. People gravitate towards people who are positive and upbeat. And so smiling, keep track of your attitude. Are you adding a positive vibe to where you are? Are you neutral or are you negative? Don't be negative. Neutral, they'll tolerate you, but people want to be around positive people. And if you want to be more likable, keep track of that. I know one scientific thing you can do in terms of getting your body ready is when you're going to meet somebody, imagine you're going to meet an old friend. Just picture you're going to meet them and get your body will automatically start getting into that, into that mode or energy, and you can get right into that groove, and immediately you're going to be more likable because you're going to be very warm, you're going to be smiling, you're going to be happy to see them, and people pick up on that immediately. So
Yeah.
try that. That's one of the tools you got to practice with.
Yeah, your body language will betray you every time.
Oh
Your
boy.
mouth may be saying one thing, but your body language is gonna say what you really mean. And so
It's so
if you
true.
can master your body, getting your mind and your heart in alignment so that now what you're doing is not just something that you're saying. So you're not just saying that I want to help and I want to add value, but your body language
Yeah.
is in agreement with you, your heart is in agreement with it, and you're genuinely looking for ways that you can add value. Your body language is going to show it. You're going to lean into people when they're talking, you're going to really pay attention, you're going to nod your head when they're talking in agreement because you're looking for those places where you can agree. Now, that's not to say you will agree all the time. And there are going to be times when you disagree with the person. But if you want to be more likable, you really do need to look for some places where you can agree, where you can come in and say, oh, yeah, I find that to be true, or I think the same way,
Yep.
because people like people that are like them. So the more you can find that place of agreement, the more people are going to like you because they feel like, oh, she's just like me, or he's just like me, or we think alike, or
Yeah.
we like some of the same things. So you have those things in common, those points in common that draw you together. It's just another way to get people to like you. Now, again, you can't fake it till you make it.
I was
You
just
really
going to
do.
chime in on the being genuine and authentic.
Yeah, you gotta be
Great
genuine and
there.
authentic. You can't
Yeah.
just fake it because again, your body language is gonna show what you really mean. I have people that will ask me how I'm doing, but then we've all been in these conversations. Before you can even get a word out, "Oh, I'm so glad you're good." Like, before you can even say,
Yeah.
how you're really doing, you can tell if somebody asks, "How are you?" if they really wanna know how you are, or if they're just saying it because they wanna start the conversation and get to the point of what they really need.
Yeah, it's just so true, no
Yeah.
question. The other thing is don't be judging other people. People have a lot of things going on in their lives. Don't judge them. Don't walk around feeling like, oh, so and so is, less than me or something. I don't think they're very good because you're not going to be able to hide that vibe that's coming out of you. People pick up that kind of judgment. Humans hate being judged, especially by peers or other people they're working with. And you shouldn't be judging them, right? You're not in their shoes. You're not walking in their shoes. Don't be judgmental. They will pick up on it. It is a vibe. Your body language will
Mhm.
give you away.
Yes, it will.
No
Another
question.
thing you can do is ask questions. And this is one area that I've actually been working on, how I can ask more open-ended questions so that you get a real conversation. It's not just a yes, no, but
Yeah.
you're really engaging and showing that you're interested in the person, not just what's in it for you, but you're actually trying to learn something about the person.
Yeah. Big time. And, listen, honor your commitments. Don't let people down. If you commit to something, absolutely follow through, deliver it to them, say, hey, I promise you I get it for you here. Here it is. As promised. And if something comes up that that you owe them a promise deliverable on Friday, you said you would get something to them. It's Tuesday. Your boss walked in, gave you something to do. Now you're not going to have the bandwidth to do it by Friday. You got to give them a heads up immediately. That's being responsible. It's maintaining that relationship. And that over time makes you more likable because you're trustworthy and they're going to like you more.
Yeah.
And, trust is huge, and that's part of being genuine, being yourself, honoring your commitments. All of these things make you a trustworthy person.
Yeah. And showing empathy, showing that you can relate to somebody, that, you have those things where you can really truly feel what they're feeling,
Yeah,
that you truly care about that person. It really does make you more likable when people know that, hey, she's not just saying I care about you, but she's showing that. So empathy moves past just the words that you speak, but it really gets into the actions. What are you doing? How are you responding to people? And what are you doing that shows them that you really do care, that you really understand what they're feeling? And you take time to get in their shoes. I read this great book one time and did a Bible study on it, but it's called Trading Places. But it's all about husbands and wives getting in each other's shoes to see things from a different perspective. And
mhm.
it has totally changed the way I see things. And not just in marital relationships, but it can apply in any relationship
Sure. That's
where you're
very valid
able,
at work.
yeah, you're able to just truly get in the other person's shoes and see things from their perspective. Because sometimes you don't even realize the impact that you're having, and then when you stop and kinda get in the other person's shoes and get on the receiving end of what you're giving, then you're like, "Oh, okay, I could see how you were frustrated by that or how you were confused by what I did." So it really does help when you can try to be empathetic towards people and really see things from their perspective and not just, the me show. It can't just be about you and what you want all the time, the me, me, me. You really do have to
Me,
look
me,
at
me.
things
Me,
from
me, me,
other
me.
people's perspective. Yes, absolutely.
There are a lot of simple things too. Part of paying attention is remembering people's names. You
Yes.
wanna remember people's names. People who are preoccupied and busy, they get introduced, somebody says their name, they're barely listening. And then,
Y
2 minutes in, and I've done this many times myself, you're
yeah,
like, "Oh, wow, what's their name?" And, that old trick of repeating their name, saying, "Oh, so and so, very nice to meet you." And then maybe somebody comes by and saying, "Hey, I want you to meet so and so." Use every opportunity to use their name in that first couple of minutes and make it a habit so you remember their name. If you're not good with names, write them down. Go out of your way and
yeah.
come up with your own system of remembering them. Some people do it by connecting them to pictures or their name to words. And there are a lot of mnemonic devices for remembering people's names. But if you want to be more likable in 2024, if names are not your thing, get better at it.
Yes, you are so right. This is like another one that I need to be working on, and I actively want to know people's names. But it's almost like as soon as you say, "Hello, I'm Terry. Nice to meet you," and you're waiting for them
Yeah.
to introduce themselves, it's like you start thinking about something else. I
Yep.
don't know how it happens, but I'll start thinking about something else, and then I miss the name,
Me too.
or I heard the name and forget it immediately. It is the weirdest thing, and it's
Yeah.
funny because I'm such a relational person that I'll remember all kinds of details about the conversation. I'll
Yep.
remember about their kids and,
Me too.
where they work and all these things, but their name will just be completely gone.
Yeah. And one of the things when you do forget a name, don't fake it. It's okay
Yeah,
to forget names. Say, hey, look, by the way, I apologize. I forgot your name. And just deal with it right up front. Be honest. That's part of being authentic because they're going to know you didn't remember
right,
and you were afraid to say something. So that's a
right,
big deal.
right.
Another thing is, supporting people. If you've actually had conversations with someone and you agree with their opinion, they bring it up in a meeting, support them. Don't be waiting to see which way the winds are blowing in the meeting and whether you're going to come in and support them. Be that person that is reliable. You talk to them about it. You agreed at the time. Say, hey, we spoke about this. I think this is a good idea. I like it. And naturally, hopefully, both of you are open-minded that if better information is presented, you're willing to go with that.
Yeah,
But yeah, support people. They'll like you much better. No question about it.
absolutely.
And one
Everybody
more,
needs allies.
funny, being a little bit funny. Sorry, I cut you off, but go on.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, everybody needs an ally, especially in the workplace, and it just makes things so much easier for you when you can make alliances with people and feel like, somebody has your back when you wanna bring up a question or make a change or anything like that. It just kinda helps when you have that ally and you know that there's somebody else in the room that's on your side.
Yeah, it's a big, big deal. And
Yeah,
as I was saying on the humor side, try to add a little humor. Be fun, goof around a little. Don't be uptight. Be one of the people that's fun to be around. That's going to make you a lot more likable. So you can smile, you can be fun. Not everybody's funny, but there's things you could do to add a little fun and humor to things. And if you can be a little more playful at times, that's going to make you a more likable person.
yes, I agree.
So there are just so many things you could do to be more likable, and you should feel free to go do your own research. We work on the human side of business. We work with these things all the time. There is a ton of research out there. You can find out an enormous number of things that you can do. Even if you did one thing a month, it would make a difference. But I think you should try something every week. Try
Yeah,
something. You can 6 months later, you can go back and redo the list over again. But you're going to find it makes a difference and you're going to be more likable. So we're
yes.
here every Wednesday at 3 o'clock when we're not taking a vacation. And we love broadcasting different things that you can do to improve how you lead or what kind of coworker you are. So we haven't chosen what our next broadcast is going to be, but it's every Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, another show. I think this is a good topic, and maybe we'll pick other things you could do to be a better performing person in 24. Who knows? We'll see what we come up with, Tara, right?
Yes, yes, it's exciting. We've got a whole blank slate.
Yep. So, hey, we hope to see you next week.
Yes, bye for now.